If you are a digital marketer or an SEO expert and you're trying to rank your blog post on search engines, or if you're just frustrated with the amount of money that you're spending with tools such as Phrase or SEO Surfer, you are going to really enjoy this video where I'm going to do a review of NeuronWriter. NeuronWriter is a relatively new tool which helps you to optimize content with user intent in mind based on semantic models, Google SERP analysis and competition data. So in this review of NeuronWriter, I'm going to take a look at the main features of the tool, and I'm also going to take you inside the members area for a quick demo of the product. I'm then going to talk a bit about the creators of the product. I will then tell you about what I think are the pros and cons of the product and share my final thoughts with you. So if you're ready, guys, let's jump right into it. As I've mentioned in my intro, Neuron is an advanced content editor with NLP recommendations. Now, why is this important? How is this going to help you rank your content on search engines? Now, the main objective of Google as a search engine is to provide the best search results based on the intent of the search query. And for Google to do that, it is very important for the algorithm to understand what the intent of the search query is. And for it to do that, it needs to understand human language. Now, for us humans to understand another human is quite simple. It's easy, but it's not that simple for a machine to understand a human. And that is why Google has been improving its algorithm using NLP, which means natural language processing, to better understand human language and put it into context. And by helping you to optimize your content with user intent in mind, Google is going to rank your content higher in the search results because it wants to show the best content to the users. There is a very nice article written by Semrush on this subject, which I will link in the description below. So you can go and check that out if you want to. And this is a very nice article that you can learn more about semantic search. So if I scroll down to this section here, you can read that semantic search uses the intent, query context, and the relationship between words to produce the most accurate search results. And what does semantic search mean for SEO? So if I read this here, in terms of the ways SEOs need to approach optimizing for semantic search, this means thinking about topics and not just keywords. Understanding that high volume keywords matter less than they once did, and that long tail related keywords and quality content matter more than ever. There is a distinct need to analyze and understand search intent before creating content. This is also a need to format your content to fit the query type and the SERP features you may want to win. This also means that structured data is a must. In many ways, optimizing for semantic search is what we should now be thinking of as best practice SEO. But what should inherently stand out is the need to create content and optimize for users, not search engines. And this is exactly what Neuron helps you to do. It helps you to optimize your content with user intent in mind. Neuron uses NLP-based semantic models to make recommendations to improve your content. Now, before getting into more details about the features of the product, let's have a look about the creators of the product. Neuron has been developed by a Polish company called Cont AI, who have also developed two other products called Contadu and Clusteric. Now, Neuron is a simplified version of Contadu. The company is run by a small team of 4 people and they have very ambitious goals. The co-founder and CEO of the company is Paweł Sokolowski, who is an experienced digital marketer. And he's quite knowledgeable about implementing data-driven methodologies in corporations and startups. I've also checked Paweł's LinkedIn profile and found that they have been working on this project since February 2019. So let's now have a look at how the tool actually works. As was the intent of the developers, they wanted the tool to be very simple to use. And the first step to use the tool is to start with one keyword and it will then do an analysis of competitor articles. You can then use that analysis to create a document draft, and you can use a built-in AI writing assistant, which is based on GPT-3 to write your content. Now, one very important thing to note is that Neuron is not an AI writing assistant. The main purpose of Neuron is to help you optimize your content so that they rank on search engines. But let's go into the members area to see how this actually works. Okay guys, I'm now logged into the members area of Neuron. And the very first thing you are going to see is a pop-up asking you to define a new project by providing some basic information about your domain and your target market. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on next. You then get another pop-up asking you for some further information like the default search engine which you want your content to rank on, and also the default language. You then have another optional settings button here that you can click on, and you can define some additional keywords that you want to rank for in search engines. So they advise to enter at least 5 keywords. You then click on create. You're then taken to this page where you can start a new analysis by clicking on the new analysis button here. So I get a pop-up where I'm asked to enter the keyword for which I would like to create content and rank for in Google. And at this stage, I'm at the first step of the process. I'm going to put in affiliate marketing for beginners. You then need to choose the search engine that you want your content to rank on. So I want to rank for Google US. And the content is going to be in English. You also have the option to add additional keywords by clicking on advanced settings here. So you can add additional keywords that you believe are going to be important for your content, for your article, that maybe your competitors might not be using. For example, I might want to have my content for affiliate marketing for beginners with 2022. I also get the option to optimize an existing article which might already be on my website, and then I would click on start. You will see that there is a progress bar here, and as soon as it's ready, you can click on view to view the results of the analysis. So at this point, we have reached step 2 here in the process, which is the competitor analysis. So now that the analysis of your competitors is complete, you need to choose the competitor articles for guideline generation. What this means is that based on the competitors that you choose, Neuron is going to provide you with suggestions in the next step where you are going to use its editor to write your own article. Now, the important thing when choosing your competitors is to think about user intent. Again, this is what Google uses when ranking articles, because it wants to show the best result based on what the user search intent is. By default, Neuron will check the top 10 articles in Google. So you can go with that, or you can go through the list of 30 competitors that Neuron generates, and you can go through the titles here and pick and choose the one that you think is the most likely to satisfy that user intent. So I'll just leave it as it is here, and I will click on next. But before doing that, I would like to point out the nice feature that I really like here, which is they have a how-to tutorial video for each section in each step of the process. So if you want to learn more about this step here, how to choose competitor for guidelines generation, you can click on how to button here, on the how to button here, that will take you to a YouTube video tutorial. So I'll click on next here, and here we get the Neuron text editor, which is step 3 here, create a document draft. So we are going to create that document draft here, But before I do that, I'm just going to walk you through the different aspects, the different features that you have here on this screen. So the first thing is that you can write your content here with the different headings, and you can also write your meta title description and your description here. You have a save button. You can load a revision. You can export the article in an HTML format, or you can import an article, either your own or your competitor article. And then you have the draft here, which basically means you're going to use the draft to write the structure of your articles. And this is where Neuron is going to use the information from the competitor analysis to provide you with suggestion of what the ideal structure for your article could be. On the right of your screen, you have some further information like the content score, which right now is 0 because we don't have any content written yet. And we have some information about your competitors. So the top competitor has a content score of 67, and the average score of the top 10 is 60, and 29 out of the 30 competitor articles have a score of 53. You also have this little icon here which shows the score detail of your content as you write that content. So you can reference that score here as you write, and you will be able to see how the score progresses or improves as you improve the different aspects of your article, like the main keyword, the meta title, the H1 headers, the H2 headers, and those different aspects that you can see on your screen right here. So you also have a list of the different keywords as they are used in the competitor articles. So you also have this tab here called the terms and headers, which is basically the number of articles that contain that keywords in the H1 term. So you can also add any keywords that you think should be used in as your content term. For example, 100% of the competitor articles have the word affiliate in H1 terms. So what we are going to do is we're going to write the draft by clicking on draft here. So in here, I'm going to build the structure of my article. So Neuron has pulled the H1 and H2 headers from competitor articles, and you can use those H1 headings to inspire you to write your own structure for your articles. So the draft section is not only for the article layout, you can also use it to write your meta titles and description. So if I click on title here, I get the different titles of my competitors, which I can use to write my own title. So I'm just going to type in and I'm going to write a 2022 guide. So as you can see, as I write the title, it highlights the keywords that I've used here. And I can do the same thing for the description. So if I click on description, I've got the different meta description that has been used by my competitors. So I just click on use here on the copy to draft, and it will bring it over to the draft section here in the meta title. Of course, you can change that and write it in your own words, and this is what I would suggest. So there, I've just rewritten my meta description in my own words. The next tab that you have access to is the assets tab, and in here you can add assets like images that you may want to use in your article. The next tab is guidelines, and these are kind of notes that you want to put in here about your persona, any call to actions that you want to use, the tone of voice, and the article of the goal of the article. And again, you have the tutorial video that you can access here by clicking this how to video tutorial link. So once you're done, you just click on save. Now, before I go back to the editor, I will go back to the article layout tab to create the structure of my article. I'm just going to pick some H2 titles here just for the purpose of this demo. So I'm going to choose this one and this one. So I've added some titles to my article layout, and if you want to move things around, you've got those arrow keys here. So if I want to move this section up, I'll just click on up and you can move things around. And if you want to remove any section, you just click on the cross button here. So once I'm done, I'm going to click on copy draft to editor, and it will take this title to the editor. Straight away we can notice that the content score has increased here. And if we click on the content quality checklist here, you will see that we have already completed a few of the things that we need to do to improve the SEO score. I can see that I haven't added a H1 header yet, so I'm going to do that. So you can see that just by adding the H1 heading here, the score has increased. Now that is 100% complete here. Okay, let's move on to the next step, which is to use the recommendations from Neuron and use GPT-3 to write the content. You will notice that we have a menu underneath each of the sections, and the first one is expand notes, and there is quite some useful notes here that you can use, such as the heading, what is affiliate marketing, and the terms that you need to include in the content for this section. You can also edit this note here if you want to write any of your own note. And to generate the content, this is where you would need to click here. This is currently in beta, so I will click on that. And to generate the content, I just need to click on generate. But before I do that, it is worth noting this generation settings here. If I click on that, you will see that there are different options for you to choose from, and the colder the setting that I choose, the more reliable the content will be, and the hotter, the more unique and longer the content will be, but the result is going to be less predictable. And the default temperature is 0.3. So I'm going to leave it as it is in the default temperature, and then I'm going to click on generate. So I've got my content which has been generated by the AI, and as you can see, this content has used 84 out of the 15,000 credit that I have. So if you use all of this credit, then you have the option to go with a pay-as-you-go AI credit. So I'm going to click on use text. The quality of the content which has been generated is quite good, but the drawback is that it is quite short. So I'm going to generate the content for the other sections as well. Okay, this is done, and you will notice that by simply generating these content using AI and without doing a first revision of that content, the SEO content score has already increased to 62 and the top competitor is at 67. So if I continue to optimize this, you can imagine that it's going to be not that difficult to reach that score of 67. And if I check my content quality checklist, you can see which areas you need to improve on. And you can see that one of the main areas where we can improve is the length of the article, which is right now at 630 words, and the target is 3,464 words. So let me show you how you can use the AI to expand the content. So if you go back to the editor, and let's say you want to expand this point here, you would need to select it, and then you will see some options appearing here, and there is an option here called AI expand. So I just need to click on AI expand, and there the AI will generate some additional content that you can use. So I just need to click on use text. So you can keep on doing that until you reach the number of words that you are targeting. And as you write up your content and add those keywords here, these will light up in green, which means that these keywords have been included in your content. This is basically what you need to do to increase your content score. To further improve your content, you have access to this tab here on the top left corner of your screen, which is called Top Analysis, which gives you additional data on your competitors. For example, your competitor parameters, your competitor breakdown, which provides you with additional information on your competitors' content relative to the content volume and the content quality. both of which are very important. You also get access to the competitor's structure, to SERP layout and features such as image, video, iframe, table, and forms, which are important ranking factors. You also get access to keyword ideas and content terms. So there you have it, guys. This is how you would go along to improve and optimize your content for SEO using Neuron. Now guys, as you have seen, Neuron is a very easy to use tool. And if this really works, this is going to be an amazing tool for you to have in your arsenal to really improve the ranking of your content. The key question is, does it really work? And for us to find out if it really works, the only thing we can do is test it out on some content. Obviously, for the purpose of this review, it would have been impossible for me to actually create the content and try to rank it on Google and see how the ranking improves. So I did the next best thing, which was to go and look out for people who have used and tested the tool and have experienced improved ranking in their content. So I went to check the Facebook group of Neuron, and I've actually found comments from people who have actually used the tool, tested it, and improved the ranking of the content. For example, there is this user here who has published a blog post which he optimized using Neuron, and he was able to rank his article higher in search results. And here is another user who has compared the outcome he got from Neuron with other tools such as SEMrush and SEO Surfer. And if I read his comment, he wrote, I write an article using the NeuronWriter and then recheck the same content in Surfer, SEO and SEMrush. The result is very good. For your reference, see the screenshot below. Okay guys, let's now talk about pricing. Neuron has 3 plans, and the lowest priced plan is the bronze plan, which is priced at 19 euros per month, for which you get 2 projects, 25 content analyzers, 15,000 AI credits, and email support. An AI credit gives between 1 and 5 words, depending on your output quality that you choose. In the silver plan, which is priced at 37 euros per month, you get 5 projects, 50 content analyzers, 30,000 AI credits, email and chat support. And for the gold plan, which is priced at 57 euros per month, you get 10 projects, 75 content analyzers, 45,000 AI credits, content sharing, email and chat support, and 1 hour live onboarding. Now, when you compare Neuron's prices to its competitors' prices, they are very competitive. For example, if I check the prices of SEO Surfer, their prices start from $49, and you get this plan is just for 1 website, and you can write and optimize only 10 articles, whereas with the bronze plan, Neuron allows you to start 2 projects and you get 25 content analyzers. And if you consider the silver plan in Neuron, which is the equivalent of the Pro plan in SEO Surfer, the Pro plan is more than double what you would pay with Neuron. And if we have a look at phrase pricing, phrase basic plan starts at $44.99 per month, and you get 1 user seat and 30 document credits. And the pricing for the team goes to $114.99 per month. And if you want to get the AI writer, the phrase AI writer, you have to pay for the SEO add-on, which will cost you an additional $35 per month. So all in all, the pricing of Neuron is very competitive. Now, with that said, at the moment of recording this video, there is a lifetime deal for Neuron, which is running on the AppSumo platform. And for $59 one-time purchase, you get lifetime access to Neuron. So if I scroll down to the plan section, so this is what you get for the $59. So you get lifetime access to NeuronWriter, and you get 2 projects, which is what you get for the bronze plan. You get 25 articles. So basically you get the bronze plan for a lifetime. You get 15,000 monthly AI credits, draft generator, the content templates, and internal linking, which is coming soon. And if you stack another code, you get the equivalent of the silver plan. So you get 5 projects, 50 articles, 30,000 monthly AI credits. And if you stack 3 codes, you get the equivalent of the gold plan. So you get 10 projects, 75 articles per month, 45,000 monthly AI credits, and unlimited team members and sharing. Let's now talk about the pros and cons of Neuron. The thing I really like about this piece of software is that the team behind the software is really knowledgeable about what they're doing. And I really like the fact that they are using NLP-based semantic models for their suggestions, which are really, really good. So even though the team is quite small, I think that they have a bright future ahead. Talking about the future, if we have a look at the roadmap for Neuron, they have quite a few interesting things on the roadmap, such as the AI article template, adding Q&A from other sources such as Quora. So there are quite a few interesting features which are in the pipeline. The other thing worth mentioning is their pricing structure, which is really, really competitive when compared to the other alternatives to NeuronWriter such as Phrase and Surfer SEO. Now, looking at the cons, one thing I believe could be quite useful is a plagiarism checker. The other negative point I see is the AI credits that you get. You can run out of credit very fast if you're using the AI tool to expand paragraphs and to write the content. So maybe they could consider increasing those limits. Overall, I think that Neuron is a great tool. It's easy to use, and I think that it's a tool that works from the testimonials that I have seen on their Facebook group, as I have shown you a bit earlier on. I think it's a tool that has very good potential, and I think it's going to be a great alternative to the more expensive tools. So if you are a content writer, an affiliate marketer, or an SEO expert, I would suggest you to go and grab a copy of Neuron, especially right now that they have a lifetime deal running on AppSumo. So I don't know for how long that deal is going to be up there on AppSumo. So I would strongly suggest that you grab your copy as soon as you can. You can do that through the link that you will find in the description. Note that this is my affiliate link. And if you decide to buy Neuron through this link, I will get a small commission at no additional expense to you. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review of Neuron. And if you have, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. So with that said, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.